Hey y'all, it's Jo with Jo's Monogram Vacations. Hope you're having a great day. I got an email earlier today and I thought, this is the perfect thing. Well, actually, I got an email and then a couple hours later, I was cleaning out my son's room and I came across this. Okay, so this goes along with a question I was asked earlier today, which is, what the heck is a fish extender? And I had to laugh because it's such a weird name. People are like, what are people talking about? What is this? So let me tell you. A fish extender, well, this is a fish extender, but I'll tell you why it's called this and what it's for. As you can see, it can be hung. So on Disney cruise ships, outside of each stateroom is traditionally a fish, but on the newer ships, sometimes it's a seahorse. There are different things, but the first two ships had fish outside the staterooms, and so that's where the fish comes from. You hang this from the fish because it's kind of like a hook. It's also used to get communication and information. For example, if you have a spa appointment the next day, there will be a reminder up on your fish at the end of the day before saying, hey, at 9:30 tomorrow morning, you have a massage scheduled, just a reminder. You can hang this from that fish, and then it has these pockets. Mine has two because I've got two kids. Some people do them for the whole family. You can get wild and crazy. If you search on Etsy for fish extenders, you will see a gazillion different kinds. Mine was made by a good friend of mine. And here's the deal. She made it out of the goodness of her heart because she is a kind and talented woman. And so I used it. If I had it to do all over again, I would not. I am anti-fish extender, and I'm here to tell you why. So let me give you the idea of what a fish extender is. So when you are going on a Disney cruise, there are Facebook groups for each cruise. They're not officially by Disney Cruise Line. People make them, and then you can kind of search in Facebook like Disney Dream September 18th, 2019, and usually it'll pop up and you can join that group. And it's only people who are on that sailing. And within that group, you can sign up to participate in this activity. The fish extender activity is a list of I think maybe 12 people. I can't remember how many people are in each fish extender group. And you bring different treats to put in, and so you'll have a list of everyone in your group and their stateroom numbers. How many people are in their stateroom? So let's say on Monday you brought a sucker for your fish extender group. So you would go to each of those staterooms and leave a sucker in each pouch. And then the rest of the people in your fish extender group are doing the same. So theoretically, when you get back to your stateroom, you have a bunch of goodies in your pouch, and it's just a fun surprise. Well, here's what I don't like about that. There's several things. And I know that, look, I should preface this. My opinion is an unpopular one. Some people love the fish extender activity and are all about it, spend tons of time before their cruise prepping their little themed gifts and crafting everything and shopping, and they really enjoy the process, and good for them. My thing is, I don't want to spend the time or the money. Also, I don't want to have to pack a bunch of stuff. And lastly, I don't want to come home with a bunch of crap that's going to end up being thrown away. Again, I know that my opinion is not very magical. Some people love fish extenders. I hate clutter. I hate junk. I love getting rid of stuff. And so I just can't get on board with that. But some people really love it. What we did when we sailed with our boys the very first time is we did not join a fish extender group. I know myself well enough to know that I would have so much anxiety about what the heck to give all these people that I don't know. What if their presents are better than mine? What if mine are better than theirs and I spend too much money? What if I forget? Whatever. I knew that was not something I was interested in. So what I did instead is I went to like Dollar Tree and the Target dollar spot and picked up little things for my kids. And every night after they fell asleep, we would stick them in their pockets, and then the next morning they would be super excited to open the stateroom door. And usually I would have like a box of candy for them to take to the show that night, and maybe like a little treat, like a little coloring book with crayons for them to use on the plane ride home. Or I think the day before our Castaway Key Day, I put goggles in each, just like a little toy and a little piece of candy. And my thing was, that way I know it's stuff that my boys will want. I'm not spending a ton of money. Y'all, Disney cruises cost a lot of money. I don't want to spend more money buying presents for strangers. But it was easier for me to justify the cost when I was just buying little treats for my kids. And let's be honest, buying like a box of candy for like going to a movie at the theater that day or going to one of the shows that night, we're gonna eat candy anyway. So it made more sense in my head, and we did that. And it was fine. It was fine. I honestly don't remember having any problems on that cruise. The one cool thing that I will say is, because this was still hung up outside of our door every morning, the boys were super excited to see, and this was a Marvel cruise, which is why we have a Spider-Man one. My boys were super excited to see what was inside their pouches. Sometimes I would forget. This is also why I don't do Elf on the Shelf, people. I can't remember. Like, when they go to bed and I've had some wine, I can't remember this stuff. So anyway, my failures as a mother. So anyway, sometimes they would forget and they'd be really disappointed that there wasn't anything in there. Sometimes we would come back from swimming and they'd want to check their pouches, and I noticed like they were kind of grouchy when it was empty, and that bothered me, because you little spoiled kids are on a Disney cruise. Why are you complaining about not having junk in your pouch? One thing that was kind of cool is sometimes we would just get random stuff. I have a DCL keychain that somebody put in our pouch one day. Like, I don't know who put it there. Somebody just left it there, and I love it. It's my keychain on my car keys to this day. So then we did it again on another cruise. And this time I just saw the entitlement go up a notch. So again, my kids are on a 7-night Disney cruise. They do not appreciate how hard, we try to communicate to them, like, mom and dad work really hard to go on these trips together because it's really important to us as a family. And they hear us, but until you're the one footing the bill, you don't really understand. So again, if they didn't have anything in their pouch, like at all times, they would get upset. And it really, really bothered me. Not only that, but I told my husband before we traveled, like, I was just buying stuff to have it. We didn't need anything for that cruise. Again, I did do the candy, but other than that, I felt like I was just buying garbage from the dollar store that my kids they might want in the moment, but eventually would all get trashed. And sure enough, it all got trashed. So I have told my children that from now on, when we cruise, we are not doing this. I haven't thrown it away. I'm keeping it. I don't know why, because my friend Karen made it and she did such a great job, and it's got their names on it and it's got Spider-Man. I don't know. I can't throw it away. I have in my closet, I have these drawer, like a filing cabinet for work, and then my bottom 2 drawers are just like vacation essentials that I keep, like our C-bands, our old Castaway lanyards, that sort of thing. So I'll probably just stash it in there, because it was in my son's closet. I don't even know why. They may have been playing with it. But because of that, I just won't do it in the future. I think I am definitely in the minority here. Some people really, really love the fish extender activity with the groups. The pros to that is you do get some fun surprises. It's also a fun way to meet some of your fellow cruisers if you want to get to know them. Your kids can get involved taking treats to the other staterooms. So I can see how that would be fun, but it also seems like a lot of work. So I would just say, if you're cruising with Disney and this is something that you want to participate in, this is something that is like only a Disney cruise because they have the hook things outside the door. I would really think about the cost, the time, the room you're going to need in your suitcase. Not only that, but the time you're going to spend on your cruise going from stateroom to stateroom. The cruises are large, and so if you're on deck 4 and you've got people in your group on deck 8, then you're going back and forth. And so that's something to consider too. Do you really want to make those rounds every day? But if it sounds like it's fun and that's something that you'd be interested in, by all means. I do not want to rain on your parade. But I'm just telling you from a mom's point of view, from a very practical perspective, why I'm not so much a fan, why we never participated in the fish extender groups, and why I will not be doing this for my kids. Now, what I will do is I will still buy candy ahead of time for the shows, and I'll just stash it in my suitcase, and before we go to a show, I'll let everybody pick out a box. That's a great idea, Renee, to use it for storage. I was actually just thinking instead, like maybe I could put this in their bathroom or something and like put their, and then, but we could do that when we sail too, because storage is definitely special. They've gotten so much better with storage in the staterooms, but you can never have too much, especially when you've got 4 people in a stateroom. So that's a great idea to use it for storage. I never thought about that, but I think we will do it. So now I feel better that I'm not going to throw this away because it is so adorable. Oops. But my kids just acted like animals about it. And also, maybe I just have crazy kids. That is totally, a possibility. They might just, they go crazy for little stuff like that. But for me as a mom, I would rather spend the money on like a meal out or something because it totally adds up. So anyway, now you know what a fish extender is. You know that I'm not a fan. I don't want to like poo-poo on the idea if it's something that sounds like a lot of fun to you. This is just the way I look at it. I know some people who totally love it. So I want to know, have you ever done fish extender groups? Would you ever? Does it sound like fun? Does it sound like a total hassle? Would your kids act like savages over random dollar store treats in their pouch? Because mine totally did. All right, y'all have a great afternoon. I'll talk to you soon.